Hi, welcome to building a platform game in CodeSkulptor, a small tutorial that I built. Stephen Compton, OBE, that's me. That's not me in the picture, but Stephen Compton is me. So what I wanted to do was just make a tutorial video that takes you from the end of, or towards the end of the course on Coursera, and kind of bridges the gap to making other types of game, and just look at some of the issues and problems to be solved in making those kinds of games. So the aims of this really is to build a game from scratch, obviously with pre-sourced art assets, sound assets, but without really planning it out. So not too much planning going into it ahead of time, and just kind of going through the process as it occurs to me, and hopefully uncover some interesting things along the way, some interesting techniques, some stuff I've learned, some stuff I will learn building this. But so before we get started coding anything, because I'm not really someone who plans very well, so I'm kind of enforcing this on myself and forcing myself to do this. I'm going to plan out the classes needed and the class anatomy. So I want to look as well at kind of instantiation and static methods and static properties of classes, and just some of the issues around that, which are helpful when building this kind of game. The art assets I'm going to have ahead of time, and will have sourced, and I'll have some information on those, and sound assets the same. So I sat down and thought about it a little bit, and here's the process approximately that I think building this game will follow. Generate a background. So rather than just have something static and unchanging, I think it's more interesting to have ways of generating backgrounds, and we can look at some techniques, having pre-generated backgrounds, tools you can use to make backgrounds, and then how to display that background and what inputs and outputs it takes, and how that will work. Create a character, create them on screen, display them, animate them, move them, and then I've got collisions 1 there. That's really, in a platform type game, one of the basic types of collisions you need to check for is whether the player's standing on something solid or whether they're in mid-air, basically. So that's the first kind of collisions we get to, and then gravity and jumping. And then adding enemies, and that brings us on to another type of collisions, which is, do you jump on an enemy, does it jump on you, who dies? We can look at scoring systems then. Some animation techniques. There's many ways to skin a cat with animations in CodeSkulptor. They're not at all obvious even after taking the class, but I've sussed a few out, and there's always more to learn. And then there's something else I wanted to look at just as a follow-on from animations, which is some way of presenting information to the player. It's an idea I stole from Mario, so like all of this, really, if I'm honest. So that's it, really. That's the video I'm intending to make. I don't know how many parts I'll make it in. I shouldn't imagine it will take more than an hour or two, unless I get caught waffling, in which case it might be substantially longer. It's probably will be of most benefit to people who have taken the course before, or someone who's in about week 6 or later, I would think. We need to know about classes and drawing on the canvas and stuff to really get the most. Okay, so I'm going to sign off on this. This is video 0 of the set. hopefully it'll be fun. I'll learn something and it'll be interesting. And see you on the forums.